this way. And now I have the Chaos Room. Into the library. I must read Tourist's Guide to Gallowmere, Part 2. If it's a mystery you're looking for, then the seasoned adventurer should travel to the ruins of King Peregrine's castle. Yes, this is the fortress from which the fabled King Peregrine once hailed. It is said that the king's crown was lost in the dungeons below of the castle, and now the ghost of the regnant himself now haunts these cold stone passageways. Spooky. Why not take to the swamps and seek out the mythical town of Melamine? This place was once said to be a piece of fantastical arcane alchemy, but an age has passed since it was consumed by the murky swamps. Perhaps great treasure awaits any adventurer that can locate its watery resting place. How about this book? Hey, I'm trying to learn here. Heroes from History, a retrospective, Chapter 1. In addition to being the strongest man who ever lived, Statler Ironhewer was unsurpassed in his skill as a blacksmith. He was equally happy pounding at his anvil at home as he was pounding on someone's head in battle. It was said that his only fear was the end of the village smithy as a focus of manufacture in favor of more centralized units. As if. Chapter 2. Born a humble peasant in one of the nomadic tribes from Eastlands, Bloodmonath Skullcleaver gathered an army of horsemen and swept over half the civilized world. When he finally died attempting a single-handed attack on a garrison in the north while armed only with a spike on his helmet, he was the richest and most powerful peasant of his day. Chapter 3. Carl Sterngard spent most of his formative years under siege at his family's castle. When his impenetrable magic shield, Sterngard's motto was, the best form of attack is defense. Sadly, his shield couldn't protect him against the poor eating habits, and he died during a post-battle feast while swallowing a large sausage he had failed to chew. Chapter 4. Dear God, how many chapters are there? Truly the hero's hero, Woden the Mighty, was fearless, single-minded, and uncompromising. Unbeaten in battle and combat, he inspired raw fear in friends and enemies alike, not to mention in close family members and pets. Chapter 5. Trained from birth in all forms of combat, Imazi Shungama was a warrior queen of the tribe of the Amazons. The bold and the beautiful Shungama banished all males from her territory, except the handful she kept on to mow the lawns of her people. Chapter 6, dear God, another one. A full-time mother and homemaker, Muwain Stormbinder had to defend her settlement from barbarian raiders, while the menfolk were away on a hunting trip. She fought off repeated attacks armed only with a pitchfork and a rolling pin, and with one arm holding her baby. Legend has it that the gods, impressed by her indomitable courage, intervened and added thunderbolts to her arsenal. She won the battle and had a couple of bolts to spare on her husband when he finally returned. Oh, poor guy. Chapter 7. Dear God, how many more are these? 8, 9. There's only 9. Okay. Chapter 7. Dirk Steadfast was a fearsome opponent thanks to his magic sword and firmly held belief that only women can defend themselves. Real men are always on the attack. He's also bald. He was a friend and contemporary of Carl Sterngard and was with him even to the end. It was whilst Steadfast was explaining his views on Sterngard's shield during a feast that the latter had his tragic and inexplicable accident. Chapter 8. Descended from the finest centaur bloodstock, Raven Hooves, the archer was the last prince of his people. A proud and haughty aristocratic, he was an accomplished hunter, sportsman, duelist, playboy, raconteur, and 3 times Derby winner. Chapter 9, Captain of the Militia, and the time of King Peregrine. Sir Daniel Fortescue found fame when he killed the renegade winner Zorok. A career soldier raised in the royal household, he was adored by the men under his command and renowned for his loyalty to Galloway. It was said that Fortescue was always destined for greatness, with his square jaw, steely gaze, and thick stock of hair. As black as the raven's wings, he looked every inch the hero. Very nice. So, Tourist Guide to Galloway, Part 1. We're going to be reading through this library, everybody. This is now taking a while. The land of Galloway is a wondrous land of breathtaking sights and adventure. If its beauty you are looking for, be sure to check out the sights of the Enchanted Forest. Scale the heights to see what nest of giant dragon birds. Seek out weird and wonderful plant life. Go ooh and ah at the sight of baby dragon toads splashing about in crystal clear ponds. Why not take a walk through the Pumpkin Valley? Screw the Pumpkin Valley. Pumpkin is Galloway's favorite dish, and about now the valley is just bulging under the weight of young podlings awaiting the harvest. Yeah, not anymore. What are you? History of Galloway, Part 4. Let's go to number 1. History of Galloway, Volume 1. During the dark time that was Galloway's not too distant past was King Peregrine, who thwarted Zorok the Necromancer and his plan to enslave the land. Zorok, once the king's mage, had fallen out of favor with the ruler for conducting outlandish experiments on the bodies of the dead. It was said that deep within Peregrine's castle, the dead were restless. The dead ought to be honored, not kept as playthings to alchemists, declared the King Peregrine as he banished Zorok from the castle. All of Zorok's living dead were routed out and destroyed. Zorok, being an unforgiving soul, went into hiding and vowed to wreak his revenge on the king. History of Galloway, Volume 2. Rumors of ill doings and dark deeds abounded through the land of Galloway. It was whispered that Zorok had employed the aid of shadowy demons to help build the vast castle. Under cover of night, Zorok's dark army spilled forth from the corrupt haven. The army marched south across Silver Mountains and through the Silver Woods soon afterwards. Even the Pumpkin Lands belonged to Zorok. The folk of Galloway's town cried out for help. Save us, good King Peregrine! Retaliation was swift and violent. King Peregrine's forces, led by the brave Sir Fortescue, drove Zorok's army back from Gallows Town. There was only so much rejoicing. Oh, there was much rejoicing. Yay. But the war was not over yet. Let me read your history before you try and kill me. History of Galloway, Volume 3. News that Zorok's army had now taken the Floodlands caused much concern. From this vantage point, Zorok could march west and take the Enchanted Forest. This sacred place would have proved a bitter defeat if it fell into the hands of the evil sorcerer. It was Sir Daniel Fortescue who once again led the king's militia and rid the demon host from the land. Yet the evil wizard was cunning and had prepared an ambush. A titanic battle ensued, of which history has never since seen the like. It was said that the day would have gone to Zorok, but for the skill and valor of one man. Fortescue led the charge deep into the massed ranks of undead, felling Zorok's bodyguard, the fearful Lord Kardok, and finally, subsiding to his own mortal wounds, slew the traitorous sorcerer with the mighty sweep of his sword. History of Galloway, Volume 4. The forces of evil were destroyed, but at a terrible price. None but a handful of the king's militia returned from that field. Galloway's lost a whole generation of young men that day, including Kenny Tim, the legendary crossbow men, and Fortescue's second in command, who fell at the first volley of arrows. Zarok's body was never found, though. It lies unmourned in an unmarked grave, then. No one in Gallowmere would shed a tear. The shadow demons that had fallen under Zarok's banner were unnatural creatures that did not belong in the world of mortal men. The king declared that they be banished, entombed under the pure earth of the enchanted earth. Imprisoned within an impenetrable box of the king's design, the demons were buried deep underground. Their tomb was sealed with a magical device that had since come to be known as the Shadow Artifact. I have a feeling I know what device they're looking for. To whom it may be concerned, I must make haste, for Zarok's men will be here within an hour. I have taken the crucifix from the church. It is the key to a key. I used the cross to make an attached cast, and then I had it destroyed. It is my hope that the cast falls into the hands of a just and good hero. Signed, the town mayor. All right. I believe we have had enough time in the library. Boy, that took way longer than I expected.